Hi friends, so nice of you to be joining me at Mr. Kane's Storytime. It is Wednesday, June the 10th. See, I'm still getting the days all mixed up. At some point it will all make sense. And I just want you to know that I'm so happy that you're here, but that Miss Maureen and I would love nothing more than for all of us to be together in our classroom learning and sharing. But right now, that's something that can't happen because it's not safe for us all. But this is the best way for us to stay connected, to share our love of sharing stories with each other, and that's the next best thing. So let's get started. We're all together again, we're here, we're all together again, we're here. And who knows when we'll be all together again. Well, every day we see each other, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. for Circle Not Circle on Google Meet. And then each day, Monday through Thursday at 2:30 p.m., Mr. Kane's Storytime. So we have those opportunities to connect. Plus, all the learning that you send me and the video messages we send back and forth to each other, we're figuring this out. And it's hard to believe that we've been doing this for 3 months and that summer is only weeks away. We're all together again, we're here. And as I mentioned, today is Wednesday, yesterday was Tuesday, tomorrow is Thursday. Today is Wednesday, Wednesday's here, everybody cheer. Today is Wednesday, all day long. That's right, all day long. So today I am doing something a little bit different. Normally I have a book in front of me in the traditional sense. Hardcover, pages on the inside made out of paper. Often many of those books have sleeves on them that reveal different art on the cover, sometimes the same art. But today what I'm doing is I searched high and low for this text because it's in a very important book to share with you. Unfortunately, the text is out of print. I am hoping, fingers crossed, that the book will go back into print or is currently working through going into print, but I did manage to find a copy of it in the digital form. So I'm going to be sharing it with you off of my iPad. And the book I'm sharing with you today is a book called A Kid's Book About Racism by Jelani Memory. Now, before I get started, I want to just pose some questions for you to think about. Have you ever heard of that term before? The word is racism. What do you know about that word? What are you wondering about that word? What does it look like to be a racist? There have been a lot of things that have been happening in the media recently, a lot of protests related to violence at the hands of the police towards the black community, not only here in Toronto, but across this country, as well as the United States and all over the world. Also, racism is something that affects the indigenous people in North America and has been going on for hundreds of years, as has the oppression towards communities of black people as well. So this book is about having these conversations, families, about racism and what we can do collectively to abolish white supremacy, to abolish and defund way too much spending going towards policing, but also ways that we can develop and change our thinking to come from an anti-racist perspective, and the importance of our voice, and how strong our voices are when we are gathered together and we stand up for each other in our communities. We live in a very diverse city, and we have to honor that. So let's get started. A kid's book about racism. This is a book about racism for reals, and yes, it really is for kids. It's a good book to read with a grown-up. because you'll have lots to talk about afterward. Just you, keep reading. The book won't bite. Now, to introduce myself, my name is Jelani. My skin color looks like this. If you're colorblind, this is the color brown. Because my dad is black and my mom is white. Which makes me mixed. Or African American, biracial, black, or a person of color. I'm proud of who I am and the color of my skin, but because of my skin color, people aren't always nice to me. Sometimes I get called names, other times it's worse. If you were to hear somebody in our schoolyard making statements towards another person based on the color of their skin, or perhaps even their gender, what would you do? What would you do? Would you stand and allow it to happen, or would you speak up? Would you seek out help? I hope that you would speak out and seek help to end that, because that is unacceptable. The person doing it might not even realize that it hurts me a lot. And when they treat me that way, it makes me feel small. You see, some people believe that having different colored skin means you aren't as good as others. That's called racism. So let me review that again for you. Racism is treating people, having a belief that it's okay to treat people differently because of the color of their skin. And because of that, it means that they aren't as good as other people. Now, within society, that's comparing it to white people. And that's called white supremacy. And it's wrong. What is racism? Racism means to hate someone, to exclude them, or treat them badly because of their race or the color of their skin. And it happens all the time. I want you to take a close look at this image. Do you see how many times the word racism is all mushed and blended in like that? It's very oppressive. It's a heavy burden to carry, to be treated differently because of the color of your skin. Not just in big ways, but sometimes it shows up in small ways, ways that are almost invisible. Like a look, a comment, a question, a thought, a joke, a word, or a belief. Racism is hate. Racism is one of the worst kinds of mean someone can be, because racism thinks being different is bad. But being different is actually good. Like really, 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 whoo, really, 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 almost there, I promise. Really, 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 really good. That sounds like a message that I share with you often about the importance of being just you and celebrating who you are, because there's nobody else in the world who is quite like you. It's 1000% good. Different is good. Different is special. Different is unique. Because being different means we have so much more to offer each other. Things like help, ideas, strength, skills, creativity, life, patience, respect, community, love, knowledge, experience, perspective, insight, diversity, wisdom, empathy, and originality. Those are amazing words. It's amazing to be just who you are. That whole being different thing, it makes us better. Much, much, much better. 1,000% better. So if you see someone being treated badly, made fun of, excluded from playing, or looked down on because of the color of their skin, call it what it is. Call it racism. Now that you've made it to the end of the book, what comes next? Well, if you're a grown-up who read this to a kid, my hope is a lot. They should have a million questions for you, like, has anyone ever been racist to you? Or do some people not like me because of the color of my skin? Take their curiosity and make the most of it. I can promise you that you're more afraid than they are to talk about it. So talk about your experience with racism or that of your friends. Talk about the country's history, our country's history, the civil rights movement, and above all, be honest. Kids are really ready and willing to learn about tough things. If only the grown-ups present in their lives are willing to talk about it. So that's my challenge out there, grown-ups. This one's on you. Are you ready to take this on? Our children look up to us. They look up to us as leaders. They look up to us for us being brave and taking a stand. They learn so much from us. So always be mindful of that. Approach these topics. This is important for every member of our community, every member of the city, every member of our school, every person in this world. Remember, everybody, different is amazing. Don't ever forget that. And be brave and stand up for your friends. And say no to racism. Call it exactly what it is. Thank you for joining me today at Mr. Kane's Storytime. I'm so happy that you were here. And go out and be brave, be kind, and share your power with others. And be you. There's nobody else that can be quite like you. Bye, everybody.